A lot of people don't want to go back to jail, Adam. After 2-3 times, I mean, I even thought about, like, if I go back to jail, I don't want to go back to jail. I mean, had the thought crossed my mind that I will end it? Yeah, it have.
Right.
But I know I just believe if you do that, you won't make it to heaven. For some reason, I believe that.
But what was going on in your life that made you consider ending it?
Because too many times in prison, leaving my children, and this time I may not never come back. You know, after so many felonies, I got 5.
Right.
I got more than half of these out here. I'm a habitual.
So what was your longest bid?
Oh, my longest bid. See, my longest bid was 3 years. See, I go in and out. I'm always in and out. 2 years here, 3 years here, a year here, teller here, a halfway house there type person. See, the feds wasn't really happy with me. They always said I'm always sneaking, creeping between the lines. Like, it's not that. It's just my lawyers, they do an all right job. You know, you don't really know how that court is going to go for real. You know what I'm saying? But my lawyers would do a good job for me, you know, and the feds was always thinking I was slipping through the cracks, or the judge. I never forget going up to prison at one time when that's when the federal, I think it was 2004 or something, I think, I was going to prison. I think I was getting 3 years, and the judge stopped my lawyer. Was like, "No, I'm not accepting this," and threw it back. "I'm not accepting this. She's going to jail for 10 years. I'm giving her 10 years. He had to come out his little, bag with the paper saying, I capped her at 3 years. Because you know your lawyer can cap you, where the judge or anybody can go over that time. And she looked at it and threw it back. She said she lucky. Because she wanted to give me 10 years. Because she's seen the activity. Let me escaping through.
But so did you get caught up for the madam shit, or was it, did it start with the drug shit?
It started with, first it was fraud.
Okay, so you were doing fraud while you were also doing the madam shit and the drug shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did everything, Adam. I did everything. So it was fraud with the IRS. It was big.
Oh, right. Okay, so this is the tax fraud that you talked about in the other interview. Got it.
Yeah, the tax fraud. That was real big.
And that's when I really started to think, damn, she's a professional, because you're talking about giving your lawyer a retainer and explaining the tax fraud
what I was going to do. Yeah.
Before you did it, which is the total opposite of most people who commit the crime and then stumble into a lawyer afterwards.
I end up, Adam, it was crazy because me and my friend, she's an Armenian girl. Rest in peace, Val. She's dead too.
My wife is Armenian as well.
Oh, really? I love Armenian people.
My daughter is half an Armo, yeah.
Oh, really? I love the Armenian community, the people.
They're great,
That's why we clicking. Yeah. And shout out to Armin Sharigian. He's like a nephew to me. But Sharigian. He's Armenian also, and he's taking care of my house while I'm gone. He's like a nephew to me. He works out with me and everything.
Oh, nice.
So I love our Armenian people, and he's my nephew. I love you, Armin. But anyway, so me and Valerie Atikian, that's our last name, Atikian.
Very Armenian style.
Armenian. I love the Armenian names, you know. I named my daughter after one of my Armenian friends' sister, the middle name, Ani. A-N-I, Ani. I like that name. That's Armenian too.
Nice.
And so me and my girlfriend, Valerie, we decide, I went to her one day and said, Valerie, we're going to do a text scam. She looked at me like, what? Because I knew she was good with numbers. She can bounce with those numbers. Very, very smart with those numbers. She said, well, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to rob from the government. Well, how are we going to do that? We're going to do this tech stuff. You good with numbers. I'm a mastermind at putting things together. That's the way. So I said, but first, we got to go see an attorney. So I called the attorney up. He said, $500 for consultation for both of us to come in and see him. So I paid it, the $1,000, and I sat down and I told him what we're going to do. He said, you going to do what? And I told him, do you think it was a good idea? He was like, well, I can't tell you that, but that's very smart. How you going to do this stuff? Well, where you going to get this from? I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to get it.
What was the gist of it? You don't got to give me every last detail, but like, what was the basic idea of how you were going to make money off this?
Well, basically, it's all about tax numbers, you know. It's something like your EIN number, your taxpayer's number. So, you know, back in the day, see, they don't have that no more. You can't be as swift as us back then. They had yellow pages. Remember those? The white pages, yellow pages.
Oh, yeah.
And the yellow pages used to have all the business tax ID numbers on them. Remember?
Really?
If you go in the old yellow pages right now, you may see an old building from 1972 with their taxpayer's ID number on there to let them know they was licensed. So that's the way the yellow pages used to read. And I used to always read yellow pages.
Right. I used to always look through that, and it would always be the abortion clinics would be at the very, very front. That's just one thing I noticed when I was young. It's like, damn, the abortion clinic got the first page.
To get the motherfucking kids out of here. Yeah, so.
Well, because it's alphabetical.
Yes,
A, B.
Or addiction.
Maybe if there was an aardvark store.
Or
it would be first,
addiction. Yeah. You always find that type of thing.
But then it's AD. That would be afterwards,
Afterwards, yeah.
But so you stood to make a lot of money on this, but you said that there was like 200 people involved?
Yeah, see, what happens is, and that income tax game, what we were doing was we would do a family of taxes, and then they will bring someone and bring someone and bring someone, and everybody's getting paid. Every time they cast a check, they had to give me and Valerie the money, and they kept whatever. We probably were getting more money than, it wasn't a half thing. We will probably get the half, and they'd probably get a little piece or something like that. Well, however it was, we made a lot of money, probably like $70,000, $80,000 a day.
Jesus. And how'd you get caught?
Well, the typical thing somebody told. One of the girls went in there to pick up her check. Her and her brother, they both told. They know who they is. They both told. So they both went in. One picked up her check, and she ended up telling on us. Me and Valerie, she told on us, and then her brother ended up telling on us too. So I guess everybody started like, oh shit, she told, he told, so we can tell. So all of them put it on us.
It's a contagion.
Yeah, they all put it on us. And then you had to blame the feds too, because they would go to all the people and say, with our picture, do you know them? And they were like, yeah, we know them. They did income tax. You did income tax. They'd be like, put it on us. That's how they do.
Knowing how bad the repercussions ended up being, would you have not done it?
Hell no. Hell no. Shit, yeah, I would have. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like other shit. They had the PPPs and EDDs. Motherfuckers did everything. That's how people do.
Every crime you could basically consider like how much you're going to benefit from it / what the odds of you getting caught are / what the average amount of time that you're going to do or money you're going to have to spend on the case would be.
Yeah,
so
well,
you could kind of look at every crime a little bit different. Let me tell you,
Adam, when I went to my lawyer, I knew what I was going to do. I planned it. I told him what I was going to do. He told me it may not come now. It may be 6 months. It may be a year. It may be 5 years. It may be 10 years, but it's coming. So I said, well, what would you take, for the case, a case that's going to be this big? He said, give me $35,000 now. So that's what I did. I came back and gave him that money. So he had that money. And if it needed more doing a case, he would have told me, So 2 years later, me and her got superseded and indicted. And when we got indicted, of course, we already knew who was talking, who was telling, I went to him, and, he called me and said, they got you. I was like, okay. And they had hit the papers and everything. I was like, okay, well, come on down. And we'll go from there. And that's what I did.
At this time in Detroit, was there already a lot of scamming culture?
Oh, yeah, it was culture of scamming. Everybody dealt everything, That's just Detroit. We gonna do it all.
Because Detroit,
we burn shit out.
The younger generation of rappers and shit in Detroit, like they basically kind of ushered in, and created a whole genre called scam rap.
We're scammers. Yeah, the scammers. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, this is what we do.
There's a lot of fetishization of scammers too. Like the city girls were talking about fucking on our rich ass scamming ass
nigga. Fucking on a rich ass scamming ass nigga. Yeah.
Right, which to me kind of gives young girls
the scammers
a weird
make money.
Worldview, right?
Yeah, those young scammers out here, they get real good money. See, back in our time, we looking over our shoulders because it's the drug game, right?
Right.
Now it's the scammers. They don't have to do nothing but pop a computer open, push one button.
Right.
They get all the money. They rich as fuck.
I could never be a drug dealer knowing what I know now as an adult, because even if you're just a coke dealer, I got 20 dudes in my phone that are buying coke off me, and I got to think about the fact that if any of them get pulled over and searched and they find that shit on them,
they'll tell.
the first thing they're going to say is, here's the guy who sells it to me.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine taking on that risk. But the scamming thing, you can neutralize a lot of the risk because it's kind of like just you making purchases or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
you making purchases or you ordering shit.
Yeah.
Ordering shit to the house, but it's easier for them.
Yeah.
It's easier for the scammer.
Less people involved. If you want to do a crime and get away with it, you do it by yourself.
You do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I got this distinctive voice, right?
Yeah.
This voice is crazy,
I love
right?
it. It's sultry.
Yeah. So, a lot of times I would have to be quiet because I'll be picked out in lineup with this voice. Oh, yeah, it's that bitch B50. I got that raspy and it can be heavy. I can do a heavy voice. You know what I'm saying? It's distinctive. So most of the times in crime, I'm quiet. Don't look like it, do it though.
So you can just get in, get out.
That's what the fish I slide through shit. Yeah. I'm always sliding through.
Definitely.